So the first order of business, Greg is not going to be at the meeting this evening, nor Peter, as I think you all saw. So the first order of business is to vote an acting chair. And I think the suggestion is maybe Deb as the longest sitting member of the board.
I agree with that. I'll motion to appoint Deb as the acting chair for the evening.
Second.
Stetson.
Roll call. I guess I'll call for the roll call voice.
Stetson, aye.
Anderson, aye.
Alberge, aye.
And mine.
All right, Deb. The show.
Do we also need to just announce our names and that we're all present?
Yes. Yep.
For a quorum. So I guess we should start by welcoming everyone to the November 1st Planning and Zoning Committee. And I don't have that whole paper of legalities that Greg usually reads, but I'll let you do that if that's important, Stephanie.
I will summarize and read that. Yes.
I think it's in the binder, no?
It is in the binder, but I'm happy to read it if you.
Okay.
So this meeting will be conducted remotely using Zoom, and you can find the link to the Zoom meeting on the agenda, which is available on the town's homepage of their website. While conducting the meetings remotely, we'll endeavor to keep meeting operations as close to standard procedures as possible. However, use of the platform will necessitate some additional meeting protocols. While the board members, the commissioners and applicants will be on video and audio, public participants will join the webinar as an attendee, meaning that you're muted and have no video feed. Although at points during the meeting when it's appropriate to recognize members of the public, you will be unmuted for that purpose. During public testimony, again, members of the public can be recognized by raising your hand using the raising hand function, which is found under participants on Zoom. If you're joining by phone, you can press *9, and that will indicate that you would like to be recognized. Let's see, as in any public meeting, indecent behavior will not be tolerated, and anyone who abuses use of the meeting platform will be terminated. Business will be handled at the times indicated on the agenda, and business not conducted in that allotted time will be tabled to the end of the meeting. Board members are asked to announce themselves when making a motion and second, so it'll be clear to the audience and minute takers. When all business has been completed, the members will vote to adjourn, signaling the end of the meeting.
Sounds good, Stephanie. So we'll just do a roll call to make sure that we have a quorum. So Deborah Balsaric here.
That's in here.
Chris Anderson here.
I'm here.
All right, we have a quorum. So it looks like first up on the agenda is internally illuminated sign, 3 Roach Brothers Way. Is anybody here for that?
And if they could just raise their hand through the hand function. There we go. Okay, Bob, Chris, there we go. We should be seeing Bob, Chris, Uli, I believe, in just a second or two.
Yeah, I see his name. So Bob, if you can hear us, maybe you can unmute yourself.
There you go. I got it.
Hi, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
If you would like to, I don't know, Stephanie, would you like to share your screen, Bob, or would you like Stephanie to? Share
You
what
guys
you-
have to do, I'm not too good with this, so whatever you want.
Okay.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay, and can everyone see the sign that's displayed?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, Bob, do you want to just go over your presentation?
Yeah, so what we got a variance for 2 sets of letters, in the last meeting. So these are internally lit LED lights and they're in 3-inch cans to be flush mounted to the building like the other tenants are in that same space.
Yep. So just to clarify, so the variance was because you're at the corner. So,
But they wanted a second set at the corner, so they got a
Yeah.
variance that approved the second set. Because we're at the corner.
and Stephanie, the requirements for signage just on one face, it looks like it meets the criteria.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
it's a
so
duplicate
the sign
set.
does meet all the criteria.
And both faces are internally illuminated, correct?
Yes, they have LED lights, all low voltage wiring that's going out there. They're not real bright.
And would you like to just also show the, or talk about the signage that will go on the sign for all of the businesses? Like if there was a,
So they have one panel that's going on there. You see we're taking up the whole leasing space that's on there. We're putting a replacement panel. The landlord gave her that space on the pylon sign that's in front.
Right where the hand is.
all right, well, I don't have any questions. Board members, do you have any questions?
Yes, I have a question. You said that these signs match the other signage for the other businesses on the same location. Can you expand a little on that? Is that
Well, no, it's sometimes people put them on raceways, sometimes they halo light them. All the businesses that are on there are flush mounted channel letters. Each individual letter is on there, so we match the same that the landlord required to put them on. So if you go by the space, all the letters are nice flushly mounted on the building, on the facade.
Any other board members?
No, I'll make a motion to approve 3 Roach Brothers Way sign.
Second, Stetson.
All right, all those in favor? Balsaric, aye.
Stetson, aye.
Anderson, aye.
am I?
All right, thank you so much, Bob.
Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, you too.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
All right, now I have to, let's see. So next up is an A&R plan for 81 and 91 Summer Street. If anyone is there for this project, if yes, you can raise your hand so Stephanie can add you.
Yeah, I just promoted Luke Klim.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to the meeting.
Good. How you doing? I'm trying to get my video working, but apparently it's not working. Oh, here we go. All right, there we go.
Hi.
Deborah,
Would you, yes.
the participants need to state their name and address.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Thank you
All right.
for the reminder.
All right, for the record, my name is Lucas Klim from Klim Land Surveying. I'm the surveyor of record that prepared the plan for 81 and 91 Summer Street. This project has been before you guys over the last few months. Eric Dias from Strong Point Engineering was the one doing the engineering and permitting for that. So this is the final step of that process is now that the common driveway and estate lot have been approved, the appeal period has gone through. That has since been recorded at the Registry of Deeds and noted on the bottom note on the left side there, the book and page. So what this plan here will do will actually create those lots.
Okay, yeah, this is a project that's been on our agenda at least 2 or 3 times. We had a site visit, and yes, we've all discussed it. So this is basically the final plan showing the course of action that has been discussed in prior meetings. Stephanie, do you have any comments?
No, the lots all meet the dimensional requirements. And the recommendation is for the board to vote to endorse the plan.
Do any board members have any questions?
Yes, I have a question. I see the driveway goes to a dead end. Was this approved by the fire department for, do we need a turn point for fire trucks or the distance is enough and this was approved?
I
was going to say, I believe I can answer that. I believe that was all done in your previous meetings for the common driveway. I can share my screen if you want. Eric sent me the most recent plan that had the 3 driveways and how they were planning on coming up. This basically you can turn around and back up here, but this was the layout that was recently approved at the last planning board meeting and was, recorded at the Registry of Deeds.
So was the fire department being part of that approval?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that plan we saw almost just didn't have the driveways on it was just the lot lines.
Yep, that is the one difference between my plan and his, as I actually extended the easement up into lot 2 a little bit in order to accommodate those driveways for lot 1 and lot 3 being within an easement. That was all.
So Lucas, are you saying that your plan is different than the one I just showed?
Didn't see you. No, I think you just showed my final plan.
Right.
It was different than I extended the easement up a little from what Eric had approved.
So let me just show that. And you're talking about this easement here?
Nope. See, as it goes up into lot 2, right up there. Yep.
Right there.
I made that a little bit bigger because if you look at how Eric had the driveways, they kind of came up that road a little ways. So I just wanted those to be incorporated. That's all.
Yep.
Does anyone else on the board have any further comment or questions? Okay, no, if there aren't any, is there any members of the public that would like to comment that are here? Doesn't appear to me. I don't know, Stephanie, if you...
Nope, I don't see anybody raising their hand.
Okay.
The other folks I see are for the next meeting or, an upcoming item.
All right, well, if anyone would like to make a motion.
Make a motion to endorse A&R plan for 81 and 91 Summer Street.
Second, Stetson.
All those in favor, Balsaric, aye.
Stetson, aye.
Anderson, aye.
And then
All right, thank you so much. That looks like it was a 4-4 vote, so thank you for attending tonight.
Thank you so much.
All right, next on our agenda is continued public hearing for 20 South Street, Old Forge Commons, special permit, flexible development. Would anybody like to make a motion to continue this to November 22nd?
Motion to continue 20 South Street to November 22nd.
Adam second.
All those in favor? Balsaric, aye.
Stetson, I.
Anderson, I.
Kevin, I.
All right, that's a wrap. Next on our agenda is continued public hearing for 58 Mill Street, Alberge Estates definitive subdivision, number 21 through 249. There's two of them. So would anybody like to make a motion to continue this one? Stephanie, are we continuing this? Is our next meeting, are we continuing it to November 22nd as well?
That's my understanding.
Correct. All right. Would anybody entertain a motion for that?
Motion to continue 58 Mill Street to November 22nd.
Second, Stetson.
All those in favor, Balsaric, aye.
Stetson, I.
Anderson, I.
Kevin, I.
Stephanie, we need to make two separate motions, correct?
You can, if you either need to include both the special permit and the definitive subdivision in a motion, or you need to do two separate motions.
All right, we'll just do a separate one since I didn't read both of them at first. So the second one will be for 58 Mill Street, Alberge Estates, special permit estate lot number 21-250. Would anybody like to make a motion to continue that to November 22nd?
Motion to continue 58 Mill Street to November 22nd, the estate lot.
Second, Stetson.
All those in favor, Balsaric, aye.
Stetson, I.
Anderson, I.
Kevin, I.
All right, that's a wrap. Next on our agenda is Lincoln State 2 bond reduction request.
So,
Stephanie, do you want to, yeah.
yeah, I don't see anyone from the applicant side here. So the applicant is seeking a reduction. There's been work done on the roadway. The work that remains, so what they've done is all the base course, the binder course, and they did top course on a portion of the site. The board may remember this is just a 2-lot subdivision. They had already started to construct the roadway when they came for the permit for the second lot, or for the lot is a, the project is a subdivision, a 2-lot subdivision. The house on the east side was under construction. That was completed. They completely finished the road then. And what's remaining is they're wrapping up construction of the house on the west side of the road. And they didn't want to put the binder course down until all the work was finished. So they're nearing completion, but they do want a reduction. And the bond was originally for $66,444, and then in February, based on a lot of the work that was done, it was reduced to $42,000 based on current site inspection and report from their engineer. The recommendation is to reduce the total bond amount to $26,187.04, which would be sufficient for the remaining top course.
Stephanie, was the site visit conducted by you or it was done by the engineer?
The engineer provided a report, and then I went out and did a confirmatory inspection.
Okay. So you're in agreement
Yeah,
with the
I
amount
actually adjusted it. There were some, they provided, you'll see they had provided some percentages, and I didn't agree fully. So I modified those based on what I observed.
And your most recent staff report, which was a while back, those items have all been addressed. So there are no other. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, one of my concerns was that they were leaving, generally when a road is under construction and they start work on the houses, they have at least put the binder course down. And in this case, they had not applied the binder course to the section of road that led to the second house. But that was okayed, and we kept sufficient funds to cover that cost. I did say, I think I said in here, but I noted it on the street inspection report that I sent back to the applicant that, there's a depression that has developed in the base course. So they'll need to repair that. So that was one of the areas I made an adjustment in the cost, the road cost estimate.
Is that potentially because of the compacted roadway was left for so long?
Yeah,
without the binder course?
and all the rain that we've had, and
Mhm.
I would think has had an impact on that, because the base course isn't supposed to be exposed to the elements.
Mhm. Does anyone on the board have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I kind of, maybe out of ignorance, but it looks to me that if you have a bond that somehow exceed by a few thousands the value of the remaining work to do, is a way to guarantee that the work is going to be done. So I know that besides the bond, there is no commitment. But if at the final inspection, whenever that happened, there is still things to be fixed, it will be good to have money on the bond still there to guarantee that. So this is not different from my experience with vendors, in which you don't pay until, or your contractors, you don't pay until the job is done. And I'm kind of reluctant, and I will ask for your advice, Stephanie, about how do you guarantee that the job will be done without having even some additional money on the bond, so you can have some kind of tool to manage the issue.
Yeah, so Amos, that's a good question. And what we do is we have a 3-year inflationary rate that gets applied to the bond. And in this case, the amount to complete the road is, we apply that compounded inflationary rate. And the $26,187 should be more than sufficient to finish the road. And in this case, I don't think this is going to be 3 years out before they finish it, because someone's going to be living there and they are going to want that road completed. I mean, it's not a short distance. It's not, just a few feet to their driveway. It's probably 30 to 40 feet of road. So
I know this has come up before, like we've obviously discussed this for different projects, and there are specificities for different projects that may or may not contribute to some of our past decisions. But I know one thing that's come up is the idea that getting like a whole separate person who hasn't been involved in the project to potentially finish the work is more costly than whatever the estimate is at the moment. But it sounds like we don't really have any reason to believe, not that it's always predictable, but we don't have any reason to believe that, yes, this won't be completed in a shorter term, and that the developer has incentive to do it because they have a homeowner, that is that has this other remaining parcel.
And the other is that this is not a public way, it's a private way, and there will be a homeowners association for the two owners. So if the road did need to be completed, if the developer reneged, it would be the responsibility of the homeowners to complete the road. And there would be even more incentive for the developer, because and it's a surety bond. This is not cash. In this instance, they put up a surety, a bond, a performance bond, and the developer pays interest on that bond every month. But I would never recommend reducing a bond if there were, reducing it down to nothing if there was not, there was outstanding work to be done.
Well,
So I think this is,
all I'm saying, if the bond is
Yeah.
larger, the developer has more of an incentive.
yeah, right,
And in that way, we protect also these two people there, so they don't fall on their hands if for some reason the developer doesn't.
right. And this amount is more than, what I suggested we retain is more than what they were suggesting. So again, I adjusted what I felt the work completed was, so that we're holding even more back.
How is the adjustment for inflation determined? Because inflation is going up, so.
Well, we've been using 10% year over year. That's a good point. On new, we should probably adjust that based on current inflation rates.
You should.
I mean, in this instance, the road really is almost completed. If we were to 64, I don't know what that would be,
So is the motion to adjust to 26 for whatever that amount you are mentioning?
Or if you're concerned about inflation, I suppose you could vote not to reduce it at all. And that would leave, hold on, I think that was 46,000. That is currently,
32, no?
so at 42,000 is,
42.
yeah,
And you're suggesting to,
to 26
yeah, to
and change.
yeah, 3/4 of the price.
Which, Stephanie, you're saying is customary in similar projects.
Based on the amount of work that's done, but again, Amos brings up a good point. It has not been it's not been my experience with this developer that he has defaulted on a project. That doesn't mean it would not ever happen. And again, the current inflation rate is around 33% on goods and materials. Some of that, and it's not even predictable. We don't even know. What I'm hearing is at any point in time, the goods or materials that are affected by that vary. It's not like gravel is going up, and
At the very least, that amount
Sure.
should be added to that amount, inflationary possible adjustment to the time in which this is going to be executed. Now, we are entering the winter, so probably this is not going to be.
It's not, right, I doubt they're going to be able to, they could potentially get the paving down before the plants close, but they close normally the middle of November. Now, if we get a real cold spell, they'll close earlier. If we don't, they'll close later.
So probably they know that, and they don't want to keep on their books this amount of money as a debt bond. So understandable so, but on the other hand, we need to kind of see.
Yeah, I think he's anxious to get the work done and get the bond closed, but.
Okay, I would suggest to add the inflation rate to the calculation to the time and figure out what that means.
So if we added 33% to the 26,000, is that that would be roughly $35,000?
Now, the
Sometimes I will do-
26 already have some inflation in it.
10%.
Definitely is there. So probably would be a little more like 30 or something like that.
Well, wouldn't be.
To recalculate the inflationary adder to that and make that the amount. I think round it up to 30,000 and say, hey.
Yeah, I mean, you, so what are you saying you'd like to do? I mean, I would need to
Yeah, you need to
do
calculate.
this properly. We would take the 19,689, multiply that by 30 to come up with the year one, then multiply, add that in and come up with a year two and then a year three.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do that right now or?
No, we can put that on the motion. No?
Okay.
Does anyone else on the board have any comments or questions?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's almost as raising some really good points. My concern, and I guess this is a question for Stephanie, and it's unfortunate we don't have anyone here
Right.
explaining, why they're seeking this reduction. But my question to you is there a plan? Typically with this level of bond, it's cash up. So typically the reason that they're going to need this cash is to get work done. Is that the case here?
No, he put up a performance bond. So he's paying the interest on the bond.
So why does he need the reduction at all? So he doesn't have to pay a small
To reduce the
interest payment
interest,
for
right.
the next
I
3
don't-
months?
Pardon?
That doesn't sound right to me.
Well, this is what he has indicated to me, and when he asked for the first one, it's to reduce. So I think what they do is reduce the amount of the bond and that the institution is holding, and then that lowers the interest payment.
Okay. I'm fine with Amos's suggestion.
I just did the math quickly, and that ends up being $43,000 with 30% escalation. So that's almost exactly what it is now.
Right. That's what I thought it would be. I was doing the math. So
Well,
definitely that would be adjustment to what you think is needed to complete with the proper additional correction for inflation end up being the same amount we have today.
Right, right.
So there is no adjustment because of the inflation rate. And that's an incentive for them, in addition to not paying the interest, is not to pay more, is to go and finish the job. I think that's perfectly okay.
Would anybody like to make a motion to approve or deny?
Well, it's denied as presented, but I think Stephanie could change this to reflect the inflation, what will bring the bond to what current value is.
But it sounded like it might be a moot point if the value ends up being similar to what we're holding.
Right. So it sounds like what the board wants to do, and it sounds perfectly reasonable, is to not reduce the current bond, to take into consideration the current 30% interest rate inflation rate that's affecting goods and services.
So let me put a motion not to accept the correction of the bond to $26,000 for Lincoln Estate 2.
Was that a motion?
Yes,
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
yeah, motion not to accept the correction of the amount for the bond from whatever number, there are 42,000 to 26,000.
Yeah, and it would be a reduction.
Yeah, not to accept the reduction in loan,
Okay.
given the inflationary aspect.
Do I hear a second?
No second, no motion.
Yeah, I mean, I'll present a slightly different motion, if it helps move this along. I think it sticks with what your proposal was, Amos, but my motion would be to approve the reduction of the bond to the amount of $30,000.
Do I hear a second?
Yeah,
Second that.
All those in favor? Balsaric, aye.
Stetson, aye.
Kelly, aye.
Anderson, aye.
All right. After much discussion, we have a decision. Excellent. All right. Next up, we have Good Seed Estates, architectural review, lots 3, 4, 5, and 6. Aren't we just looking at lot 5 today, though, Stephanie?
Yes, and I will promote Michael O'Shaughnessy. He can speak to that, but that was what was agreed on after the agenda was posted. Oh, and Ethan. There we go.
All right, good evening. If you could introduce yourself for the record. If that's Mike or Ethan, whoever wants to go first.
Good evening, everyone. Michael Shaughnessy. I'm here tonight with Ethan Ekstrom. We're here to go over the architectural plans for lot 4 and 5. Lot 5, lots 3, 4, and 5. 4, 5, and 6 have been submitted. We're hoping to get the balance reviewed and approved at the board's next meeting. Ethan, I think it makes sense, Stephanie, if you could kind of pull up the site plan that shows the 3 lots. It's probably the easiest place to start.
Okay, you're gonna have to, there are a lot of plans in this set.
I think it was the last drawing in the permit I set.
Okay, well, yeah, let's see. This one, I think this is it.
That's right.
That's close enough. So this is lot 5. It's the lot with the common driveway off of it. What we did is I think there was some issue and it was before the board before and how it tied into the other lots. So what we did is we revised the layout a little bit. We have the garage facing the driveway. We shrank the building a little bit. You can see on this plan, there's a footprint for lot 6. Obviously, that's going to change a little bit. And on the other plan, you have the footprint for lot 5. Ethan, can you kind of describe the building and what it's about and what you've done that may be different from what the board has seen before?
Sure.
And Ethan, for the record, if you can just, introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Ethan Ekstrom. I'm working with Mike as part of the development team for the owner.
All right, and Chris, did you have
I was gonna say, Stephanie, I think page 12 or 13 is what you want to show.
Thank you.
Sure. That one.
Yep. So if I may, like Mike said, we ended up flipping the dwelling up on number 5. We decided to have the driveway run straight to the garage instead of looping around in that driveway easement. This was in an effort to pivot lot 5 a little bit so that it wasn't looking straight towards lot 6 and that it related a little bit better to 4, 5, and 6 as a whole. On the exterior, Stephanie, if you wouldn't mind flipping back, sorry. It's in keeping with what we're proposing as a whole in the neighborhood. It's hardy plank siding, PVC trim. It's a historical character. All the homes are going to match. And the intent is to have it look like, a well thought out New England, subdivision, especially in that cluster. I know there was, an emphasis on that. So that's the front rendering there, with the garage on the left as proposed.
And
Stephanie, I think there was one other image that might be helpful. It was like a 3D view that showed lot 5, that it showed potential 2 other homes, because I think one of the things we were discussing was, driveway access.
Yeah, right.
hold on, let me
The other-
see. If I do this, I think I might be able to find that more easily.
31.
Oh, Chris, you're on top of this. There we go.
Yeah, there's a few there.
Yeah, so I think in our prior meetings, we were, concerned about driveway access, and then also making sure that the, front and rear views were appropriate and that all of the parcels had access to light, which it looks like this revised plan addresses that. I don't see any conflict with that.
Yeah.
So thanks for providing this view. I think this was a helpful view.
And I was also asked to remind the board that tonight you are only approving and considering lot 5, which is this one.
I did have a question on the side setback. Are you still looking for a reduction on that? Or it looked like it was still shy of 15, or was that the prior one you were showing, Stephanie? That was not the most updated plan.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right, Deb. On the right side of the garage,
If I go back to 12,
13.4 foot setback. Yeah, page 13.
I believe this flex development is a 10-foot side and rear setback. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that dimension there we cannot read it.
right
Okay,
here,
like 14.4.
14.4.
14.4.
And Stephanie, can you confirm that that's the case?
I would have to pull up the decision.
The flexible development bylaw, that's the minimum side yard you can have, is 10 feet.
Right. Between existing, yeah.
All right, so it's not a 15-foot like it is in, okay. So this footprint meets all of the setbacks for this development.
Yes, for the flexible development, right?
Does anyone else on the board have any questions or comments?
So there is a 15-feet buffer to wetland. Is that the orange line?
Yes.
Okay.
The orange dash line is a 50-foot buffer for the wetland buffer.
Okay.
Any other board member comments or questions?
Yeah, I think this overall site plan looks good. It kind of pushes the 3 buildings kind of as far away as they can be within the constraints. Really, we go right to that like edge of the 50-foot buffer, which I think is kind of what we were aiming for. So they're not clustered on each other. And I think by having that, even though we're not talking about the other lot, but by having that driveway in a different location, I think it serves each of the houses better.
So again, the concept on lot 6 is just a concept, is kind of a placeholder. I think at the end of the day, we're still going to use the footing, and you know, we're going to see if we can make the driveway location work off the cul-de-sac. There may be a little bit of a conflict with that, so if we can't make that work, we might have to have the common driveway, the garage face the common driveway, similar to the one on across the way on lot 4.
Stephanie, can you, because we're approving or disapproving just lot 5 right now. So could you also just go back to the elevations on this project?
Sure. And Chris, you said that was 21? No, it's not page 21. 31.
27, 28, yeah, right there.
So
Is it?
No, next
No, that's not it. The garage was on the left. Ethan, do you?
All right.
Stephanie, the rendering was 31. That may be the easiest.
Well, I guess I would.
23,
Well, no, I think what he wants to see.
24 and 25. Sorry, 24 and 25.
There we go.
Okay, yes, that's what I was looking for. So I know one of our comments was we wanted to make sure that we had the elevation notated as well as the height.
Yep, I called those out on the left side. I noted a grade plane line, which you'll see, and then which is in blue, and then the red dashed line is the mean roof height. And then I showed a few different dimensions, grade plane to highest ridge, grade plane to mean roof height, and then top of foundation to highest ridge.
Zoom in. I know you folks can't see it as well as I can on my full screen here. So again, this is the grade plane.
Yeah, it looks like this one's 25 foot 4 inches, grade to mean roof height.
So Ethan, what is this that drops off? This
That's just a graphical representation of an approximate grade.
Okay.
The blue dashed line is the calculated grade plane.
okay. And then this is the mean roof height.
Right.
Based on the highest peak, which this is higher than that. So
Yeah, so Ethan's added a bunch of details and tried to clean it up a little bit more to match some of the other projects. with the, you've got the roof pitches, you've got the size of the rakes, the roof rakes, the drip lines, and all that good stuff that you guys like to see. He's called out the siding. So I think it's a pretty well done plan.
Ethan, can you just go over for members of the public or the board possibly on how you calculated the median roof?
Sure. So I'd gotten the or the formula, I guess, from Stephanie and Suzanne. If I recall, it's you follow the fascia height, which is the bottom of the roof line trim, kind of where Stephanie's mouse is. You pull the highest ridge height, and then you do a calculation where you subtract. Stephanie, are you able to pull it up just so I don't botch it? It would be easier to explain.
Well, it's it's the mean, and so you would measure the height, and then determine where the mean is, and that's how you determine the mean height of the roof.
Yeah, so I took the formula supplied and then I actually plugged in like the engineer's elevation. So meaning, say top of foundation is 126.5. I plugged that into the calculation and plugged in actual numbers, and then that's how I came up with my my actual height. So those are all to scale and formulated.
All right, well, that's what I was hoping you were going to comment on, because obviously as the grade varies, that you need to take that into consideration. So it sounds like you did.
Yeah, you would measure from the grade to the eave, which I don't see that elevation here, but and then you'd take the elevation from the grade to the top of, the ridge line.
Yeah, so start.
And then you divide that by 2 to come up with the mean height.
So the actual peak of the tallest roof, I can't read the numbers, I apologize. What is it?
Hold on, it's either 154 or 164. It's 154 feet 9 inches.
All right, and the proposed grade is what at the?
That's the elevation, so it's 122 feet 4 inches is the grade plane.
All right, so we're like 30. Did you say 159?
32.33. Oh man. 32.5 inches. Sorry, that took a while to say.
Stephanie, did you have any other comments or concerns?
No, again, as Mr. O'Shaughnessy pointed out, the information, the size of the rake boards, the drip line, the composition of materials are pointed out.
Does anybody on the board have any other questions or comments? Okay, if no one does, is any members from the public here? I don't see anybody new, I don't think.
There's a Stephen Adams. I don't know who that is.
He's the broker.
Okay.
You can leave him off.
Okay.
All right, if there's no other comments from the board or the public, does anyone want to make a motion?
Motion to approve the design of lot 5.
Adam second.
All those in favor? Balsaric, aye.
Stetson, aye.
Anderson, aye.
Adam, aye.
Awesome, thank you. Stephanie, will the balance be put on for the next hearing for the 21st to 22nd? Is that what I heard earlier on?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. I don't know if we've set any records yet, but we're at board business. So I don't know, Stephanie, if you have any comments about the planning board economic development.
So I don't know how aware the rest of the board members are, but Greg and I have been talking about this for a while, that when the Economic Development Council was first conceived and then voted to form by the select board, it did not include a member or representative member of the planning board. And it has always seemed that it made sense to certainly have someone from the planning board as a representative on the Economic Development Council. I mean, a lot of what the board does with zoning amendments is related to promoting economic development and growth in the town and protecting the town. So that it is a place that businesses want to come and do business and grow. So the select board did vote to increase the membership and to have representation from the planning and zoning board. So you are being asked tonight to vote on your representative.
Is that something we can postpone when we have a full board, or?
You can do that. And I can give you a little bit of information too, so you can think about this. The board meets once a month. Their current schedule is that they meet on the second Thursday of the month, and they meet at 11 o'clock.
Did you say a Thursday?
Thursday, the second Thursday of the month.
At 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think we need to wait for Greg and Peter to be in order to.
Mm-hmm. So we can move that to the next agenda.
And then we have meeting minutes, which I don't know if everyone has read them, and if so, have had a chance to make any comments, if there are any, or if Stephanie want to share them, if you have them.
I read them, and actually I was the first one to challenge the developer about drainage and impact into the neighbors, and my name was not there, but that doesn't matter. It is on the records, and I don't care.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from October 18th.
Second, Stetson.
All those in favor? Balsaric, aye.
Stetson, aye.
I don't know.
Anderson, aye.
All right, I think that was everybody. So chair report, the chair's not here. I don't think we can skip that, I believe. And any items not reasonably anticipated by the chair, unless you have anything that you need to relate to us, Stephanie?
No.
I would like to report something. Devin and I, we work on a wide finding. Is one of the committees I'm participating. They just select me to be a representative there. There was one meeting, and they are working on the logo, and they wanted feedback. It was supposed to be another meeting last week, but with the storm, the DPW, they feel decided to cancel that. I guess they're pretty busy. So we are waiting for the next meeting, and we'll keep you informed. This was about the logo that is kind of get affixed to all the wayfinding signs that they're trying to develop for the town.
Thank you for the update. So they'll be meeting, has the meeting been rescheduled yet or no?
I haven't seen it yet. No,
No,
they're still pretty busy, as you know. The streets not open to traffic yet.
Okay, so I guess if that is it, that puts us to our next meeting, the Monday before Thanksgiving, which I may or may not be able to attend. But does anybody want to make a motion to close
Motion
this
to
out?
adjourn. Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Second, Stetson.
All those in favor, Balsaric, aye.
Stetson, aye.
Anderson, I.
Never mind.
All right, well, thanks, everybody. I feel like I've been on the board for forever, and I don't think I've had to chair it, and it's probably been like, I don't know, 10 years or something.
Well, I
Peter's
would say,
always
yeah.
there.
Deb, with the speed with which we got through this, perhaps,
Yeah, we need to
Chair.
we need to let.
perhaps we need to make this more regular.
Suzanne, please note that in a minute.
It's not it.
Someone is speaking less.
All right, well, thanks, everybody, and
Oh, man.
see you next time.
good night, everyone.
Good night.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.